Occipital lobes. The occipital lobes are primarily responsible for visual perception and are involved in some forms of visual short-term memory. Explore the occipital lobes in the human brain from the side and top views. Note that in the human brain, you can see the occipital lobes from the bottom view because they're hidden from the cerebellum. So here we have the side view. So the occipital lobe is right here in the back. And again, we have the top view, the occipital lobe is in the back. So within the occipital lobes is the visual cortex, which is responsible for the conscious perception of visual input, the ability to interpret what you see. So again, here we have this darkened blue section that is showing you the visual cortex within the occipital lobe. So for step 13, once again, you're going to return to your brain diagrams up top, label and then describe the functions of the occipital lobes, including the visual cortex. So you're going to scroll back up to your brain diagrams, double click, add occipital lobe and visual cortex. The visual cortex receives sensory information from the optic nerves, which carry signals from the eyes to the optic chiasm, the location where the two optic nerves cross to the opposite sides of the brain. The signals are then transmitted to the visual cortex in the occipital lobes. Okay, so here we have a diagram of that. So we see the bottom view of the brain here, and what's circled in red is then enlarged over here, and this is giving us the ability to see the structure of the optic nerve. So here we have the left optic nerve, the right optic nerve, and right below it, the optic chiasm. So once again, you're going to scroll up to your brain diagrams and label and describe the optic nerves and the optic chiasm. So you're going to scroll to the top, double click on that diagram, and then make sure to label these three things on the bottom view section. Okay, so now it's time for a reflection question before we move on to the next section. What functions or function in the body might be affected if a person fell and injured the back of their head?